Hello everyone. Welcome to the third part of detailed explanation of the story The Rat Trap by Selma Lagerlof. So far in the story, we have read that the rat trap seller or the peddler was at the Ramshaw Iron Works to spend the night. The owner of the mill was on his night inspection at the right moment, and he mistook the peddler as an old acquaintance of him named Niels Olof. In fact, the ironmaster invited him to his home. Now the story continues from here. The rat trap seller didn't find it to be a good idea to visit the ironmaster's place. He was frightened with the idea of visiting to the large house of an old soldier, which, according to him, was not safe. So, after all, he just thought then that after all, he had the stolen money with him and he didn't want to put himself in danger. His intentions were just to sleep there in the forge and spend the night and then go away from there without even being noticed by anyone. Then, looking at this behavior of the peddler, the ironmaster was aware of his friend's miserable, poor condition. So he tried to make him comfortable by saying that he should feel free to come his home as his home was an ordinary one. He told him that his wife was no more and added that he must be aware of this fact. Then he let him know that both his sons were settled abroad and only he and his daughter were left at home. And then he invited him to celebrate Christmas with his family so that he and his daughter may have some good company at the Christmas feast. So here we see that the narrator of the story again highlights the problem of loneliness in the life of human beings. Now, then we see that though the ironmaster made many attempts to invite him, but the peddler continuously didn't accept his invitation. So at last he says to his senior blacksmith named Jenstorm, that it seemed that Captain Wonsdale or the peddler wanted to stay with him in the forge. But then he laughed and went away, just returned. But the blacksmith, who was very much familiar with the attitude and behavior of the owner, knew that he was hiding something and he had not yet spoken his last word. Then we see that after a gap of half an hour, the ironmaster sent his daughter, and maybe he hoped that his daughter may bring his friend home, as he believed that she was better in persuading others. So just then, the ironmaster's daughter entered the mill with her attendant, who was carrying a big fur coat, and she was a humble girl who was very shy. And when she entered, everyone was busy the same way as they had been earlier. For example, the master blacksmith was still sitting on the bench with his trainees and was working on the iron. And then we see that she then we see that she went up to the peddler and lifted his hat. The peddler slept with one eye open, and the peddler slept with one eye open. And as soon as he saw her, he got shocked and jumped. And let's see, how did she handle this situation? How did she make him feel comfortable? She introduced herself as Edla Wilmanson, and she just expressed that she was sorry to hear about the hard times that he was undergoing. She explained to him that she had come to take him home with her father's permission. Now, then the story goes ahead. Then Edla had sympathy for the peddler, and as she behaved compassionately towards him. But then she noticed that The reason behind his fear could be that either he had committed robbery or stealing or jailbreak kind of thing. So she said that he was free to leave their house at any time, but she wanted him to stay with her family just for Christmas Eve. And then Adler was talking to the peddler in a very nice way, which made him believe her, and he got ready to go with her. And then we see that the peddler wore the fur coat that was brought by the valet, that was being carried by the valet of Adlaville Manson, and he started following the lady. He didn't even bother to notice the other two people in the room. On the way to the house, the peddler felt that as he had committed a crime and he would be punished for it. So he had certain evil forebodings. Then he curses himself. He started cursing himself that if he had not stolen the money, he could not have got trapped like this in this situation. The money was, he then immediately realized that the money was a kind of bait which had led him into a trap. And then we see the next day was Christmas and Christmas Eve. Both the ironmaster and his daughter were at the dining table. The ironmaster said to his daughter that they had to do something good for the peddler and should try to find some better job for him. And then we see that the ironmaster then the ironmaster's daughter said that it was strange to see that the peddler had been in such hard times and was doubtful whether the man had been educated. And hearing this, the ironmaster clarified that it was due to his bad condition. He also added that the man would behave differently after getting clean and dressed up. And he just gave a kind of assurance to her. And then while both father and daughter were having conversation and they were having discussion about the peddler, he entered the peddler entered the room with the valet well groomed, as he was looking clean, as he had been, as the valet had bathed and his hair had been cut by the valet. He was wearing the ironmaster's clothes and shoes, including a shirt with a starched collar and shoes which covered the entire feet. And then there was something and that just struck the ironmaster. What was that? The ironmaster seemed very angry to see his well-groomed guest, as now he could just make out his appearance well. It was very clear, and realized that he was not his comrade or his friend. He understood that he mistook some stranger as his old friend. And then we see just that how does he react to this. He screamed at him and asked him to explain. The peddler knew that the ironmaster could make out that he was not his old friend. Now he understood everything, that now the reality has been exposed. As he already knew this, he was ready for the consequences and felt now that the luxurious treatment was about to end. And then let's see, what did he say? The peddler tried to explain the situation. He tried to explain himself that he should not be blamed, he said. And he said that he was just begging for a stay in the forge. He had no other intention. He also said that he had not harmed anyone and he was ready to wear his rags again. To this, what was the response of the ironmaster? To this, the ironmaster hesitated and said that the peddler had not been quite honest, and so he wanted to call the sheriff. So then the tramp was very much annoyed. The rat trap seller gets so enraged, so annoyed upon hearing the threat of the sheriff that he struck the table with his fist, and it was done very hard by him. He said that this world is a rat trap and all the good things are a bait, just like the cheese rinds and the small pieces of pork are bait for the rat, which are offered to trap it. Not only this, he further said, he also pointed out to the ironmaster that he may today be imprisoned by the sheriff, but one day the ironmaster will also get trapped like this. So, in this way, we have seen the story so far. We'll continue the remaining part of the story in the next part. Let's have a look at the glossary section. It's very important to have proper understanding of the text, and the understanding becomes very much improved when we have a clear understanding of the vocabulary. So with this we come to the end of this session.